to the Land of Dawn for the battle for match points in the first match of the playoffs.
How will this actually pan out? This is something that we haven't seen in quite a while as well. And Kabuki on Benedetta, will he be able to lane well against someone like the Beatrix with better range?
I mean, range is a big factor, especially in the laning phase, right? So how it plays out, it will depend, because Benedetta, I think, has a lot more flexibility in how he wants to approach the laning phase. But as far as the aggression in the early game, with the Paquito, with the Benedetta, and the Ling, right? I think Aurafire will have a lot more ways to try and go aggressive, but Altrigo later on, they have the advantage of having a proper front line. So without the Diggy, if they can bait out the time journey somehow, I think Altrigo has it.
Is this the first time that Godiva's picked up someone like the Diggy?
Yeah, I mean,
I think it is.
from what I can remember, I've never seen Godiva on a Diggy. So again, both teams are stepping out of their comfort zone. High already going to go for the invade. Leo Murphy with the Stampede, looking for a play here. Retribution is available for Sully Boy, and High is actually the one who gets it. 10 of the blades popped in. Leo Murphy forced to flicker out. High gets out. Alarm bomb almost taking Leo Murphy down. But just like in game 1 and 2, it's Aurafire with the early aggression.
Man, we saw that this pick, right, this strategy with a Diggy, we have seen that it can be countered by an Estes, but unfortunately for Altrigo, they have already put in their roamer pick, so it's an option they can't really explore. Right now, they're just forced to deal with the mobility, the burst coming in from the fighters and the assassins. This is similar to game number 1, having a lot more fighters and fighters generally allows you to be a lot more aggressive, and if Altrigo fall behind, that will mean a lot of dives coming in from Aurafire, I think.
Right now, Aurafire, you can see that they are ahead a little bit in terms of that gold. They're able to maneuver around the waves a lot better right now, as we can see there in the top side as well. But talent by Axe, seems like
it's a flip.
Pulung is the only person who opted for the Alter Ego here this time around, but Pai.
Gonna get chunked low. Cult Alter already placed in with the Black Dragon form, so this is gonna be a massive advantage as Fluffy cancels out the real world manipulation. Petrify popped in, but that's gonna be the 10 of the blades with the time journey to actually disengage. High jumping in with the blades. Looking for some damage. That's gonna be the reverse time, bringing it back. Sully Boy comes in with the heavy spin. Survive. That's a kill over towards Facehugger. Pai jumps in onto High, looking for a trade back once again. Only a 1-for-1 XP for Jungler. Who wins that out in the end, Arashi?
I think all things considered, we were talking about how the early game is favoring Aurafire, so I think Altrigo comes out on top, but of course, Kabuki comes down to join the party, and overall, I really think that, given the context, given the circumstances, Altrigo came out on top in that engagement.
The problem is Sully Boy was taken down, so neither of them actually wanted to commit onto the turtle. Aurafire was so low that they didn't want to overcommit either. Both teams playing it very, very safely, as once again, Aurafire already on the turtle.
High has the blades. Feather airstrike popped in. Sully Boy does not want to go for this. A bit too risky. They're just going to give it over to Aurafire. That's the turtle taken by Aura. Presented to you by Samsung Galaxy A Series. As in this gold lane, this is what you're going to see. Kabuki is going to constantly shove the waves in so that he can rotate around the map with the Benedetta mobility. But here, we're also going to take a look at the emblems, Arashi.
Free Festival of Blood, so they're aiming to make it a very bloody game. Demon Slayer for both junglers, but I think we already agreed that having a more utility jungler usually, right, ends up with more of those objectives secured. In the poke department though, the Eve going to have a bit more damage coming in compared to that magic shot from the side of Facehugger, but now there's a lot of damage from Altrigo. The time journey though is clutch, but now Aurafire won't have it available for any aggressive plays.
I mean, still 70 seconds left until that neutral objective hits, and Sully Boy still being very aggressive here in game number 3. Luckily, he wasn't taken down, because that would have been a complete disaster for Alter Ego. Very similar to game 1 and game number 2. 50 seconds left on the clock as Kabuki caught in a 2v1 situation.
Oh, man, they sacrificed so much to actually go onto that top side, man. Yutong, Pai was in that top side, and the entirety of that turret shield has been taken away by Fluffy. He also has a gold lead here, and this is not really going to be good for the Yutong. What is good about the Yutong, though, is the new Exorcist skin. You guys can go ahead and check it out, because look, it's been amazing, right? Oh my god, look at the effects when Pi got the triple kill when he was 1v4ing, Aura got scared because of the skin, man. But now, the airstrike popped in up top. Kabuki has the damage to actually follow it up through. But there's not going to be enough. Alter Ego are able to maneuver themselves out of that lane. And Kabuki's just going to go for a cheeky cut.
5 minutes has elapsed here in game number 3. And if we're talking about that mid game, who do you think it favors?
I think the mid game absolutely favors Aura Fire, just because more burst damage, more mobility, right? Having 2 assassins essentially and 1 fighter is gonna have give them a lot more advantage when it comes to those weird skirmishes, which happens in the mid game. Later on, though, with 2 fighters of their own, with the Yutong and the Akai, there's a lot of crowd control available. I think, like you mentioned in the beginning of the game, the main man here that decides how the fight goes is gonna be Godiva or the TV. When the time genie gets popped up is gonna be critical in deciding who comes out on top.
I think it's a very good time to actually talk a little bit about why we went for Aura Fire. Most of us, except for Papulo, right? But at the bottom side, we're going to talk about this first. Black Dragon 4 popped in by Pi, but he's not going to be able to defend his bottom side tier 1. It's going to fall to the hands of Aura, top side again. So, why did we go for good snipe by Nino? Yikes. What a good read as well, man. He just grabbed that shot out of nowhere, just like you guys can grab food out of nowhere with the 90% discount code, grb.to/MPL. You can also scan the QR code. But again, let's talk about why we predicted Aura. Because for me, it's been because of that wave control, right? With the Benedetta, that's a winning lane. With Fluffy on the Paquito up against the Yutong as well, Yutong does have quite a bit of trouble there. And they're just able to control every single neutral objective with that.
And you can see even the disparity in the level between Hai as well as Boy. Hai is a level, almost 2 actually, levels ahead of Boy, and you can see the difference when it comes down to that wave clear. As now we can take a look at all the items here in the 7th minute.
Nino with the BOD will be a bit of a menace, especially if Aura Fire wants to risk getting in the fights with low HP, because if you're lower than 50% HP, that's where the BOD really spikes up in value. Diggy rushing the Radiant Armor though, Godiva really respecting the potential for Yves to force out the time journey defensively, right? And the Hunter Strike and the Bloodlust Axe on the hands of Kabuki. This is what we've seen in Season 8, I believe, a lot. The fighter in the gold lane just making sure that the marksman doesn't get any chance to play at all. As we mentioned earlier, I do think the main difference is that with the Cult Altar, the damage from Aura Fire isn't exactly ultimate reliant. So even if you initially get saved by the Cult Altar, Aura Fire can just stick around and take you out afterwards as well. I think that's the main issue. And with the Diggy, with the time journey available, I think that's the main key factor in ensuring that Aura Fire are the ones that dictate how the fights are going to go.
At this stage, we're going to see Hai trying to push the lane in the bottom side, trying to send a member from Alter Ego down so they can set up for this next turtle properly. Facehugger still doesn't have his ultimate, so that's something that they need to consider as Alter Ego Esports. Maybe they are going to look to contest, but Fluffy doing a very good job at zoning it.
Boy, though, gonna get chunked very low. Final blow to the back lines as Kabuki does so much damage onto Udil, onto everyone to execute as well. The Cult Altar falls to Kabuki. Black Dragon formed by Pi, looking for the steal once again. The Miracle Play does not happen for Pi. He's able to get out of the Furious Dive, but the Tempest Blaze comes in from Hai, who is able to find the Retribution. Fluffy in the midst of it all, still able to survive. Nino looking for the kill, taking it. Nino taking low, flickering out. Kabuki looking for Leo Murphy, but Hai picks it up. Udil still able to run for now. Kabuki doesn't want to leave it back. Eye for an eye. Oh my God, the snipes did not connect, but Udil's able to actually escape. It's a 2-for-1, but the Lord goes over to Aura.
4,000 gold lead. In addition to that, as now Aura Fire, with the space that they have, they're going to be able to get a turret in that mid side, as well as take away the blue buff away from Sully Boy.
Not ideal for Alter Ego, but they do get trades, right? And when you're on the back foot, any kind of trade is essentially beneficial. Nino especially picks up a kill, Udil as well. So all things considered, not the worst of scenarios. The longer the game goes, the more Aura Fire needs to be a bit more careful with how they want to engage. The members simply will be too tanky to get bursted down in such a decisive fashion like in the previous fight.
Let's see, man. Looking at this right now again, right? Aura Fire, they got the Lord, but because Alter Ego got the favorable trade, in terms of just the kills, they are actually able to clear out the waves. Only one tier 2 fell in that Lord power play. And now, we're going to see how Aura Fire uses this 5,000 gold lead, because exactly like you put it, Arashi, the later the game goes, the scarier Udil and Nino gets.
That's going to be a huge problem as now we are in the 10th minute. And this is where it's going to get very important, right? How are they itemizing against one another as Alter Ego Esports continue to scale?
Boy picking up the Anticuras this early in the game is absolutely value, man. It lowers the attacker's physical attack for every time you hit up to, I think, four stacks for up to like 7 physical defense. So picking that up against a Ling, a Benedetta, as well as a Paquito on Fluffy, I think that's gonna make Boy a lot more tanky, especially because Facehugger won't be focusing his damage onto Boy of all people.
But the airstrike again though popped in, and this is what the Farsa really, shines at. That zoning, that poking with the feathered airstrike. And to add on to that, the fact that they have such a massive goal lead means that he's going to be able to burst a whole lot of that backline down. So Alter Ego needs to be very careful on their positioning. Damage dealt by Axe. Wow, Nino, even though he's not really an early game hero, he's been bullied this game. Still number 1.
In that previous fight, he was just hitting again and again with that Nibiru. So I think it makes a lot of sense. And Boy now with a heavy speed, he will be able to find Fluffy.
Oh, he's gonna go for the collapse here. I don't think this is gonna work out. For the airstrike popping in, Boy gonna lose his life, but no, the Cold Ultra comes in. Real world inflation also popped in. Oh, the snipe from Nino! Oh my goodness, that was nasty by Nino. He goes for another. It's a double kill. The number 1 in the damage dealt by Axe, absolutely styling here in the 11th minute.
2 members taken down for the price of none at this stage as Alter Ego Esports once again being able to pick up the tempo, taking away a little bit of momentum that Aura Fire have built for themselves. And now Kabuki, he might be caught in a bad position.
Oh, eye for an eye, does not matter! Nino again! He goes in for another snipe, just barely out of range there. What happened to Nino?
He just has all the space in the world to try and deal damage right now, especially because Aura got baited, and now Godiva will be the next kill picked up by Nino yet again. 5-0. Lord is on the table with 2 members down for Aura Fire.
Jeez.
What? Nino, come on. How many kills in a row is that? How many consecutive kills in a row? Like now he's sitting at 5-0-1 here in the 12th minute as now they're going to collapse on the next neutral objective. Facehugger trying to open that feather airstrike, but unfortunately, gonna be able to just buy a little bit more time for them as that mid lane is going to be crashing in favor of Aura Fire. But my oh my, Alter Ego. This is what we were talking about, right? We were fearing that power spike that could start to hit, and now Aura Fire, they're starting to feel it.
They are just struggling to try and find that pick-off because everyone's grouping up together and the Cult Alter is just getting a lot more value. Aura Fire needs to try and space out their damage a bit more here. Maybe Feathered Airstrike first and then an Electrophylo Blow or, a Tempest of Blades, because right now, the Cult Alter is being used as such an opportune moment for the set of Alter Ego, and they go for this contest yet again.
Aura are looking to sneak this Lord 2 levels ahead of Boy. Real world inflation popped in. He'll spin this round. They're gonna go for it high. Wins out the Reggie battle. Cold Ultra clutch to help Boy. Meanwhile, what happened? Nino was able to take Kabuki down. Pai again in the midst of it all is able to win a 1v3. Still surviving. Finally falls. Man, what are these side laners of Alter Ego made of?
2-for-1 trade for Alter Ego Esports, and even before this matchup began, the main highlight for this matchup against Aura and Alter Ego is the fact that both of these teams have really strong side lanes. And you can see it actually go into fruition as Fluffy. Is he going to get taken down?
Oh my god, the name of the game right now is finding Nino for Aura Fire. It hasn't happened, not a single time. He's still deathless.
He flickered forward in that last fight. What? He almost got taken out and he pops the Wind of Nature at the exact moment. They're playing so crazy, so recklessly, and it's paying off. This is the Alter Ego that people are expecting.
7-0-1 on Nino right now, and it's just so insane to see. I mean, the Beatrix has got to be one of his power picks at this stage, right?
We have seen that he has mentioned that he is confident on that Beatrix. When it was meta, he was able to use it to great effect, but right now, he is showing Kabuki how it's done.
This is absolutely crazy, right? Because again, we went for Aura Fire in the draft. We predicted Aura Fire because of how well they were able to play around the neutral objectives early on. And usually for Aura, when they get such a massive goal lead in the start, they're not a team that lets go of it that easily. So it's super impressive by Alter Ego right now. The fact that they are able to turn it around.
Right, I mean, we saw it in game number 1, right? They have the advantage. They don't let Alter Ego get any moments at all. It was a 0-kill game for Alter Ego, I believe. So we thought that was going to be the same story, but right now, look at the items. Nino is on a full inventory slot. He has the Has Claws as well, so his sustain is going to be a lot healthier as Conceal is being popped by Aura Fire. They're going to go for it.
Again, it's Nino. He's able to flicker out. He is able to dish out the damage. It is a disaster for Aura. Black Dragon formed by Pi onto Kabuki and the Petrify, and Nino again picking up the kill, looking for the snipes to secure a triple kill, but Udo says no, you've had enough kills, it's time for my kill, alright, it's mine.
Oh, Fluffy
What
versus
the
Pi.
What's going on? This game, how did Alter Ego turn it around? How did Aura Fire let go of the 5,000 gold lead? Alter Ego might go for the one straight push on the bottom side with the minions that they have. Bumpy wants to go for a miracle play, but he's gonna get knocked up. He's gonna get chain CC'd. His immortality falls. Nino again picks up a legendary. Bumpy is able to prolong the game, but Alter Ego. Oh, wait a minute. Oh no, they might be going for something here. Godiva spawn in the back. He's gonna go for the reverse time right now, but look at that. It's still Godiva taken down for nothing.
Oh, man. I mean, Fluffy bought enough time for Aura Fire to come back because that would have been a disaster if Alter Ego Esports could have ended that with a one straight push. We do see the beauty of Pi being on the lane, being able to mobilize around the map, look for counter split pushes all across the board. As now, Alter Ego Esports, they're going to be the first ones to set up for the Lord with two-man advantage.
Oh my god, what is that damage? Feather Airstrike took away almost all of Nino's HP, but Facehugger, he popped his Feather Airstrike in a very open position. Kabuki on the Benedetta is not going to survive the damage coming in from Nino. Hi, isn't... Oh, what the... Oh! Hi! Huh? Again!
Hi, stole the Lord?
Saving the game for Aura Fire against all odds.
What a steal from High, man. Some way, you're just able to get in there and get that retribution, but Alter Ego, they want vengeance, they want to punish him for that play.
Is it going to be enough, Mirko?
And this is the siege for Alter Ego.
Alter Ego in the base. High gonna get shredded down by Nino's Nibiru. Nibiru's passion popped in. Facehugger responding in 5 seconds. Lord gonna be micromanaged by Alter Ego. Every single wave cut here except that top side. Alter Ego wants to look for an end with a 2-man advantage, but they might not be able to go for this. Kabuki spawning in 2. Aura Fire. High save the game, but wait a minute, Feather Airstrike popped in there doing so much damage, but look at Nino, focus on Nino, he's able to dish out so much damage in the back line right now as Pi jumps in, by the time! Nino! What the heck? Gets the snipe onto Kabuki, he's able to cut away, he's full HP, that's a double kill for the Wonder Boy. Nino looking for more, looking for the end, the real world manipulation comes in as Nino targets the base, he's able to maneuver all around as he goes for it. Buffy trying to survive, trying to save the game once again. A double kill picked up, but it's Nino with the legendary. He secures a match point for Alter Ego.